Assalamu alaikum, dear learners, honorable guardians, my dear colleagues and the viewers. All are welcome to our biology class presented by Dhaka Online School. I am Ismat Farjana, Senior Lecturer, Cambridge School and College, Dhaka. Dear learners, previous class we have learned about photosynthesis, the process and its function from chapter 4. Today we will describe about another new topics from this chapter, and today is our second class. So get ready for the class and please share this class to your friends. What is our today's topics? Let's see. Dear learners, do you know why these elements are needed for? That means there are some elements or components, that means sunlight, carbon dioxide, water and oxygen, carbon dioxide. So all the elements are essential for photosynthesis. So what is our today's topics? Yes, our today's topics is the factors affecting photosynthesis and the role of necessity of light and chlorophyll. Chapter 4, Bioenergetics and class 2. So at the end of this lesson you will be able to describe the role of chlorophyll and light in photosynthesis, tell the name of affecting factors of photosynthesis, explain the importance of different factors of photosynthesis and show the necessity of light and chlorophyll in photosynthesis by experiment. Dear learners, first the role of chlorophyll. You have learned about chlorophyll in first class. So why the leaves are green in color? For chlorophyll. Chlorophyll are present where? In chloroplast. And what is the function of this chlorophyll? To produces food. That means production of food, helps in production of food. Now see what type of energy is being emitted from the sunlight, solar energy or light energy. But what is the relation between this chlorophyll and light? Do you know? Because only chlorophyll molecules can absorb or capture the solar energy from the sunlight. That's why chlorophyll is very essential for photosynthesis. And you know that always the old chloroplasts are disintegrated and new one are synthesized, but too much chlorophyll is the result of them shortage of enzyme, and then the chlorophyll, the percentage of chlorophyll also decrease at least, and then the rate of photosynthesis also be decrease or slow down. We know that for production of carbohydrate from water, carbon dioxide, the source of required energy is light, and it also take part, that means that light also take part in the formation of chlorophyll. So in which light of photosynthesis is better? See, this is the red, then blue, orange and violet. That means red, orange, blue and violet, these four colors is better or perfect for photosynthesis. That means in these four colors the rate of photosynthesis is highest or better. In the presence of sunlight, when the stomata are open, you know that the stomata will be open when in the presence of light. So the presence of sunlight, when the stomata are open and carbon dioxide can enter the leaves and take part in food production, that means production of carbohydrate, but a small amount of light falling on the leaf is used in photosynthesis. That means very little amount of light can fall on the leaf for producing this process. So if the amount of light increases too much, the enzyme disintegrated and the production of chlorophyll also reduced, and consequently the rate of photosynthesis also reduced. Which light is not good for photosynthesis? Just now we have seen that which colors are perfect for photosynthesis or good for photosynthesis. Now which light is not good for photosynthesis? See, green and yellow color, because the rate of photosynthesis increase with the increase of light up to a definite limit, and generally carried out well with the light of wavelength between the 400 to 480 and 680 nanometer. See here, this is the graph chart. So wavelength of the light, so 400, starting from here there is 400 to 500, that means here is 600, that means 480 in between this, and then 680 up to this 600 to 700. See, here is some colors: chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, carotene, phycoerythrin, phycocyanin and phycoerythrin. So chapter 2 we have learned that the structure of chloroplasts. The chloroplasts are different, that means different color. So chlorophyll is green in color and others colors also present, that means C, phycoerythrin, phycocyanin, chlorophyll A, B. So all are essential for this, all are present in the sunlight, but for photosynthesis this green color, that means these lights are, that means red, green, blue and orange and purple are perfect, but green and yellow are not good for photosynthesis. Dear learners, now the factors. What is factors? The elements, the components or the substance which are influenced by photosynthesis, these are known as factors, and these factors are divided into two: external factors and internal factors. External factors including light, carbon dioxide, temperature, water, oxygen, minerals and some chemical substance. And the internal factors: chlorophyll, leaf, age of leaf, amount of the carbohydrate, enzymes and potassium. So all are affecting factors for photosynthesis. Now we will describe about these factors and its importance. First, the external factors of photosynthesis. Light. We have learned that light is the most important factors of photosynthesis, because in the presence of light, chlorophyll molecules absorb photon from the sunlight and take part in production of carbohydrate. But if the amount of light is increasing too much, then the chlorophyll molecules are disintegrated and the enzymes also shortage, so the rate of photosynthesis also shortage. So light is essential, but not too much is required. Now carbon dioxide. You know that the concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is 0.03, but plant can use up to 1% if the rate of carbon dioxide is increased a very high level. The acidic condition of the cell of mesophyll tissue. I have learned about mesophyll tissue. What is mesophyll tissue? The lower epidermis of the leaf, there is a two type of parenchymatous cell. Upper part is spongy pellicate parenchyma and lower part is spongy parenchyma. This two part contains is more chlorophyll, and this altogether known as mesophyll tissue. So if the carbon dioxide is increased to very high level, that means high amount, then the mesophyll tissue is increased and the stomata became closed. So the rate of photosynthesis then decrease. So carbon dioxide is one of the factors of photosynthesis. Now temperature. So the very low temperature, that means below 0 degree and the above the 45 degree, the photosynthesis cannot be carried out. That is below 22 degree or above 35 degree, the rate of photosynthesis will decrease. So what is the optimum temperature for photosynthesis? 22 degree or above 35 degree, that means 22 to 35 degree centigrade. This is the optimum temperature. Dear learners, this question, this points is very important for your MCQ. Okay, so mark it on your book. Now, water also essential for photosynthesis, because in the presence of sunlight, plants absorb water by their roots from the soil, and carbon dioxide produces food. So water also essential, but the scarcity of water, the guard cell of the stomata. This is the stomata. You know that what is the stomata? That means covering by two guard cell. There is a whole like structure. This is known as stomata. So scarcity of water, the stomata become flaccid, and so the entry of carbon dioxide is disrupted, and excessive scarcity of the water, the enzymes also be inactive, and that's why it also, the photosynthesis also be stopped. Oxygen. If the concentration of oxygen is increased in the atmosphere, the rate of photosynthesis decreases but stops completely in the absence of oxygen. So oxygen also essential. Now the minerals. So what is the mineral? That means different types of minerals are essential for photosynthesis. Here is two main components, that means two main minerals, nitrogen and potassium. These two components is the main source of formation of chlorophyll. So due to lack of this chlorophyll, the leaves become yellow and photosynthesis also decrease. So this is the potassium, and also you know that this potassium, the closing and opening stomata, potassium also essential, and in this case potassium also act as a catalyst. So due to lack of potassium, this chlorophyll formation also be ceased, and stomata does not open. So this is one of the factors of photosynthesis. That means minerals also essential for photosynthesis. Internal factors. First, age and number of leaf. Age, that means the too much young and too much old leaf contain less chlorophyll. So the rate of photosynthesis in them, that means too young and too young old leaves, the rate of photosynthesis is less. So where is the rate of photosynthesis is better? That means middle is aged leaf is the better for photosynthesis. And the number of leaf. Dear learners, you have seen that the different types of plants, some contains more leaves, some contains less leaves. So more leaves, more chlorophyll and more photosynthesis. But if the number of chlorophyll is too much increased, that means high amount, then the photosynthesis also be decreased, because the increasing of the chlorophyll is high amount, the shortage of enzyme also great a vital role. So occurring this photosynthesis, that means any kind of reactions, enzymes are needed. So if the chlorophyll is increasing, then this activity of these enzymes are also be shortage. So the rate of photosynthesis also be decreased. Amount of carbohydrate. We know that in the process of photosynthesis, plants produces carbohydrate. But if the amount of carbohydrate is low, it is clogged inside the leaf. In the evening time, that means in the night time, we know that this is the oxygen. The plant release more carbon dioxide, and then the rate of photosynthesis also be ceased, because less carbohydrate production, the photosynthesis also be less. Then enzyme. What is enzyme? Enzyme is a chemical substance, one kind of elements which helps the occurring chemical reactions, but after reaction they are unchanged. So you have learned that in the process of photosynthesis, carbon dioxide plus water and produces carbohydrate plus oxygen plus carbohydrate type of food. So this is the reaction, these reactions occurring helps in some enzymes. So there are several enzymes which are act as a special role or the vital role in this process of photosynthesis, but if the short of enzyme, this process also be ceased. Potassium is one kind of catalyst which also increase this enzyme's activity. Dear learners, we have learned the role of light and chlorophyll in photosynthesis, the factors. So these factors are very important for DMARCs or MCQ. That means which one is the external factors of photosynthesis, or which one is internal factors, or which one is not. Dear learners, remember it that which one is not. This type of MCQ always will come in your exam. So you must be memorize these factors properly. Now, essentiality of light and chlorophyll in the process of photosynthesis we have learned, but how can we prove this? By a experiment you can show by activities. So what are the essentials are needed, that means what equipments are needed for this? First, a plant with a green leaf, that means fresh alive leaves, beaker, spirit lamps, black pepper, petri dish, droppers, 1% iodine solution, test tube, clip of forceps, and 95% ethyl alcohol. So what is the procedure? First, the potted plant should be kept in a dark place for 48 hours so the leaves become starlit. That means when these tubs are kept in a dark place due to lack of sunlight, these leaves becomes starless. A part of the leaf on the potted plant kept in the dark need to be covered with a piece of black pepper. So one of the leaves we can cover by a black paper and with a clip, and that's why that means any sunlight cannot be enters inside this black portion. Third number is, then this potted plant should be kept in sunlight for 6 to 7 hours. Okay, so this is the procedure. That means first potted plant, the fresh alive plants, you can place in a dark place for 48 hours for becoming the leaves starless, and then one of the leaves is covered by black paper with a clip and placed it in a dark place for 6 to 7 hours. Then in order to make the chlorophyll free, the leaf should be again boiled in 95% ethyl alcohol and it becomes faded. So for this is the process. You can take a test tube and beaker. You can place the green leaves, that means covering with the black pepper, inside the test tube, and this test tube is placed inside the beaker, and through this spirit lamp you can boil it. Okay, now the leaf is to be washed in water and drained with the iodine solution. That means after boiling these green leaves, you can boil, that means drainage and iodine solution. Then you can boil this in iodine solution. What is the observation? What you will see that when the leaves is picked from the iodine solution, that means after boiling up the iodine solution, we can see that except the covering part, that means which part of the leaves are covering by the black pepper, then this remaining part of the leaf become blue, deep purple or black color. See. So what is the result? That light is needed for photosynthesis. Now the experiments show that necessity of chlorophyll in the process of photosynthesis. For this, what are the essentials or requirements? Here is a manihot or variegated leaf, that means this is a ornamental plants, beaker, alcohol, spit lamp or Bunsen burner, some petri dish, some water, dropper, test tube, iodine solution. Now the method. First, at noon, bring a manihot leaf of the plant and mark it the green part because these plants are that is leaf of these plants are colorful. So first you have to take separate a leaf and mark its different green color, that means green part you have to separate. Then these leaves will be boiled for several times, okay, and boiled in water and then in alcohol, then washed and in water and dip in iodine solution. That means first you have to separate the leaves, first boil water in water, then iodine, then in alcohol, and then keep it in iodine solution. So what we will see, to avoid the accident while boiling the alcohol without direct heat, the test tube should be heated with alcohol and leaves, leaving the test tube in beaker's water. What is the observation? After immersion of iodine solution, only the green parts of the leaves become blue or dark purple or black. See, this is the blue or black or dark purple color. So what did you understand by this test or experiment? That chlorophyll is essential for this photosynthesis. Dear learners, we have learned the role of light and chlorophyll in photosynthesis, external and internal factors, how these factors are effect, that means their importance, and the activity, the experiment, the essentiality of chlorophyll and light is needed for photosynthesis. Now the individual work, that means you can do this work by yourself. Make a list, the name of the external and internal factors that affecting the photosynthesis, and make a list. Now a creative work, you have to try to answer these questions. What is the rate of photosynthesis would be in a newly developed leaf? Explain. Dear learners, not only this question, there are different questions, that means how temperature or carbon dioxide can influence by photosynthesis. This question also come in your question paper for B marks question. So you have to prepare this question, because previous just now we have learned about this carbon dioxide, water, oxygen, everything. So you have to learn this, and hope you understood this and you can write the answer. Now the evaluation, how many questions you have learned from today's topics. How many factors are there in photosynthesis? What happens when the amount of carbon dioxide is increased in the process of photosynthesis? What is the optimum temperature of photosynthesis? How the age and number of leaves are affected by the process of photosynthesis? How carbon dioxide can influence by the photosynthesis, and which elements are act as a catalyst in photosynthesis? So you have to prepare this question. Dear learners, we are now at the end of our class. So hope you understood all the questions, and now is homework. Explain the role of chlorophyll and light in the process of photosynthesis. Dear learner, this question is very important, and these questions also come in your B or D marks questions. So very properly you have to prepare your answer and read this. So dear students, thank you for attending my class. Hope you understood this today's topics, and see you in the next class. Stay safe and well. আল্লাহ হাফেজ।